So recently I started playing Sonic Racing Crossworlds, directed by Tom Turner. And for my little history with this game, I absolutely love the Sonic series. It's one of my favorite video game franchises. And the spin-off Sonic Racing games have been a bit of a mixed bag for me. Like, I like the first two Sonic Riders games and Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed. I didn't really like Sonic Free Riders, the first Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, or the Team Sonic Racing game that came out. And I will admit, Sonic R is kind of a guilty pleasure for me. Like, I know it's bad, but I still have fun playing it, not gonna lie. But I was still interested in this game because the trailers did make it look interesting. And as of this point, I have not completed the game, but I have raced through every Grand Prix and unlocked quite a bit of content for the game. So I will say that so far it is fun. I have overall enjoyed this game. The controls are kind of floaty. It is a bit hard to get characters to drive where I want them to sometimes. The items are sort of a mix of copies from Mario Kart and some unique weapons, which are cool. It is hard to properly use some of them when you first start playing, but once you get used to the items and how they work, then it's pretty easy to use them. I think the tracks are well designed. They're very fun to race on, and there's even some sections that legit feel like Sonic platforming levels, which are pretty cool. There are some obvious Mario Kart ripoffs. Like there's a track that's very obviously trying to be Coconut Mall, and another track that's very obviously trying to be Boston Building. And some of those ripoff tracks are still good, but it's really obvious when they're ripping off something from Mario Kart. The Crossworlds mechanic in this game felt kind of pointless at first, but at a certain point, I realized that all of the Crossworlds tracks are only available via the Crossworlds mechanic, and I will admit, it's actually a lot more fun and interesting when you know that. I will say though, like as the game goes on, I did start to get some of the regular tracks in the Crossworlds, and it's not as much fun after that because the whole enjoyability of the Crossroads mechanic is getting to race in these unique environments you can't get to any other way. The roster, I think, is pretty well rounded. There's some good Sonic representation of characters throughout the franchise, some interesting third party representation. Some of them are kind of wild picks, I will say, but it works because it's Sonic. Like, it's with the way this franchise has been over the years, it's not out of the ordinary to see characters like this running around. I don't like that you have to buy a season pass for the DLC and hope that Sega eventually releases them, but still, I'm excited to play some of the DLC that's supposed to come out later. The rivals during the Grand Prix to me seemed kind of pointless, and they kind of gave these annoying interjections throughout the race. I'm aware that you need to beat them to unlock certain things in the game, but I feel like you could just play through the Grand Prix and unlock things after beating a certain number of Grand Prixes. I don't know. It just felt like you didn't need the rivals there necessarily. The music was kind of a mixed bag. Like some of it's pretty cool, but then other times it either sounds off or just kind of goes kind of like goes up and down in terms of like literal quality. Like sometimes it sounds like the music's coming out of rusty tin cans for some reason. I don't know, it was kind of weird at points how off the music sounded. And one final note, I love that you can drive a car or use extreme gear. Like that's a great little detail. And it's not like the extreme gear has like much of a difference in terms of gameplay, but just the fact that they included it is really great. So overall, I would say this is a fun game despite some problems. It's a definite recommendation for Sonic fans. But I will say if you have to pick up only one kart racer this year, I would pick Mario Kart World. I did think that one was a bit better. And I'm going to give Sonic Racing Cross Worlds a B. So those are my thoughts on the game. If you've played it, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to see more reviews like this in the future. And on that note, I will see you next time. Have a great day.